Miserere Deorum!
Hey.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hi guys, welcome back to Seki being a thirsty ass whore. In theory, not in practice. Let's get our story straight here.
Yeah, we sure about that? Nah, we're not sure about that.
Bitch! I'm insulted. I think I've just been called a whore in practice. God, okay.
No, it's not whore in practice. It's a presumed whore.
I'm not sure if that's better or not. Anyways, so story, characters, all that fun stuff, and waifu wars eventually. So, obviously we've got kind of the character list, you know. So we're talking. These are the gods. You know what I mean? Like these are the gods from various mythologies, and I love that for us. Like 10 out of 10. But the base.
You start.
Nope. The premise of this show and of the game is that this girl, Kusanagi Yui, ends up going to this school, essentially for gods run by Zeus, right? And she's supposed to teach them how to... So the story is certainly not anything novel or unknown.
I mean, it was a visual novel story, therefore it is novel. I'm done.
Yeah, that... No. Jesus fucking Christ.
What, we can't make puns?
I'm gonna be honest here. I don't know how much there is that I can say about the story.
I actually have a fair amount to say, but it's probably better saved for free talk because I actually did do some research into the visual novel after we were done watching.
Oh boy, I didn't, other than trying to find a copy that I was able to play.
So I guess it's my turn to talk about my complaints.
Do you ever have anything but complaints, Vorn?
I mean, that's a good thing I actually...
The answer is no. So he can't actually say yes, so no.
I mean, do I have anything but complaints for this show?
Fuck off. Okay, about the story, not the characters, because that's separate.
Fine.
Oh no, it's so contrived. Yeah, we know.
Okay, but anime is often contrived.
Exactly.
Nah, that's just your cookie cutter thing, so pretty much...
You want to speak up a little?
Oh, yeah, sorry. This is pretty much just your cookie cutter thing right
Did you
there.
Turn us down?
Nope, that's how it's always been.
No, it was louder last time.
Maybe because I just moved away? No? Did you do something to it?
Nope.
Okay. No clue then. Yeah.
Alright, keep going.
Well, yeah. This is just a very, very cookie cutter anime, pretty much. It has the swimsuit festival. It has the actual festival, the school play.
There was plot in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And there's like a hint at it in an earlier episode, technically.
Yeah.
There is an overarching plot.
Look. I'm just being honest here. You know, people in glass houses should not throw stones, Mr. Snafu, and what's the classroom of the elite?
You've already thrown stones at them anyway, so it don't really
like,
matter.
You don't sit here and go, my complaints are that it's boring.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a glass house. We kind of threw stones at it already.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, don't, like, yes, it has all these things, but so do, like, 30 other things we've watched.
Yeah.
And we love school festivals.
No,
Especially, fuck off. We love swimsuit episodes.
No, we don't.
Well, he just doesn't like fun, so, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't like fun. I like suffering. I like character arcs. Of which there are 0 here. Well, there's 1.
Balder?
One character arc.
Balder?
Yeah.
Which is, so that's who my friend was rage watching about to me. So fun fact, I will say though, one of the things I did look into was my friend really wanted Dionysus to be a capture target, and he isn't in the original game, but he is in the second game.
Mm-hmm.
So the second game adds a few more capture targets to this. So like, you know, here we've got Balder, Loki, Tsukuyomi, Susanoo, Hades, Apollon. Those are capture targets, all of them?
Yeah.
2 from each mythology. Then there's some other assorted characters, but like Anubis isn't a capture target in this one.
So here's a fun
Oh,
fact.
in the game though, Thoth is also a capture target. Yeah.
So
Which-
many Kabadons.
Look, fam. Thoth is the reason I like this. He is my chosen capture target. Anyways, but apparently in the second game, Thor and Dionysus become available, and I think maybe one or two other characters do. Maybe Amaterasu? Maybe? But I'm pretty sure at least Dionysus and Thor, who we do see in this anime.
That was way too many Kabadons for a teacher to give to a student.
Yeah.
Did you see him? I don't care. Hubba hubba.
I mean, yes, definitely hubba hubba, but goddamn it, he's a teacher.
That in context, I'm pretty sure these characters aren't all the age they're like. They
No,
basically
they've all
take their
been
age. I think
de-aged, yeah.
Zeus even at one point doesn't he actually
Transforms into a child in the first episode. Yeah.
So really, it's just Zeus and Thoth lording themselves over the rest of the gods.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like it's just them being like that's the plot of this anime is them being pricks.
Uh-huh. But hubba hubba Thoth. You know?
No.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely, yes.
He's a good-looking man, but no.
He's a very good-looking man.
But like in theory, Thoth being creepy towards the main harem was no creepier than the other characters being creepy towards the main harem. There's still like a 6,000 year gap between her and their ages.
Depending on the mythology, up to, yes. In the case of like Apollo and Hades, probably closer to like 3,000 to 4,000.
But also, if that doesn't stop me in Fate, that's not going to stop me here.
Exactly. That's the one. He's put it into words.
Yes.
If we could be horny about Fate characters who are just as old, we could be horny about these characters.
I mean, I'm not denying that.
It's just hilarious to think that by all metrics, they are our cradle robbers.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely, yeah. No, undoubtedly. There's no contest. I actually don't like the main character, the girl.
Oh
But-
God, she's a literal plank of wood.
But I think that's because she's a VN protag. She is lit. You are supposed to be.
Okay, but VN protags can go like they can be good, and then they can also go so far in the other direction they're fucking abysmal. She did neither.
She just is there. That's what it is. She is there. Although I did have a question that came to mind when I was watching it the other day. Obviously there's a lot of mythological references here. Her last name is Kusanagi, right? As in the sword, the grass-cutting sword. And I kind of wonder if that was deliberate.
Maybe it was because she also got transported upon finding a sword.
Yeah.
And her pendant was a sword.
Yeah, so I like I said, I haven't played the game, so obviously if they talk about this at all, I wouldn't know. But my theory is that it does have something to do with Kusanagi, the grass-cutting sword. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. At least, because it's in my head because we've recently done the kind of a few episodes in Reacts where we've been talking about like a lot of Japanese mythology, and I remember going over the grass-cutting sword a couple times with like, I think it was Ushiwakamaru.
Minamoto no Yoshitsune.
Yeah, Yoshitsune and Tamamo.
No my.
Yeah, because Tamamo had a shit ton of Amaterasu stuff.
Yeah.
And then Ushi was just Ushi.
I will say this: the gods understood a lot of Japanese
Japaneseisms.
jokes. Yeah.
It is a Japanese-made thing. You get some of that in Fate too. Like, how do you know about this specific Japanese culture? Point.
Yeah. I do think it's absolutely hilarious though that in this like Japanese-made game with like Japanese protags, Zeus is still like the king of the gods and the one in charge.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little funny. I find that a little bit like.
Being fair though, if you're looking at old pantheon gods, Zeus is probably the most famous of them.
Yeah, but Thoth is older.
He's older, but Zeus is infinitely more famous.
Yeah, Zeus or Jupiter, king of the gods, all that stuff. Yeah, no, that's fair. It was funny to me that it's Zeus. Also it bothered me a little bit that Thoth's last name is Caduceus, which is it's a Greek reference to the Caduceus. And I'm not a huge fan of that because you could have gone with something more inspired, like Egyptology.
They had last names.
Yeah, so they all had last
What?
names, and I don't know. They all have not last names, but like multiple names. So like they all have like, for example, right? Let's see. So Apollo is actually Apollon Agana Balea, right? Which is a reference to some Greek mythology stuff, and like Apollon is one of the names that Apollo takes sometimes, and sometimes it's used as a title attached to like other things.
Speaking of him, I did appreciate the reference to the Oracle of Delphi they did with that one with his art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Hades' Aidoneus. So Aidoneus is actually a reference to I think the Roman name for the entrance to the underworld. From what I can remember in Roman paganism, and then the Japanese trio is Tsukitu, Totsuka, Takeru Totsuka, and then the one who we only meet briefly, the older sibling, is Akira Totsuka. So they all have the same last name. And then you've got Baldur Hringhorni, and Loki Leviathan, and Thor Mengingjard, and then Dionysus Thrysos, which is another. All of their last names have a reference to some sort of mythological concept associated with them. And then Thoth Caduceus, which bothers me a little bit because the Caduceus is the symbol of Apollo and Hermes. Like it is not associated with Thoth.
If I remember my Thoth lore correctly, though, aren't Thoth and Hermes they're not the same god, but they're sometimes associated?
No.
Okay.
Those two are not typically syncretized. There are very few Egyptian gods directly syncretized to Greek and Roman ones. And then Zeus's last name is Keraunos, right? Which I think is a reference to Kronos,
Yeah.
just spelled weirdly. And then Anubis's last name is Ma'at, which we talked about.
Yep.
That is a very topical reference on the channel. But we talked about Anubis in a recent Reacts video that unless I cut this whole section because this is coming out weirdly. But it was in a recent Reacts video we talked about Anubis, and Anubis is the guardian of the dead who weighs their heart against the feather of Ma'at, or truth or justice, to determine whether or not they get to go to the field of reeds.
At the time of recording this, isn't that episode the next one that comes out?
I think it might come out before this.
No, it'll come out before us, but while we're recording, like as of today, it's the next one that's coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So there are references to like different mythological concepts, mostly included in their names, but also in some of their like little bits of like tidbits and stuff you can learn about them, which I thought was actually really, really pretty cool. With Baldur, right? At one point they talk about how he's invincible to everything except for mistletoe because of the story where he's killed by the thorn of mistletoe and stuff like that. So it was interesting. I thought it was kind of good.
Yeah, no, that they're definitely. I did like it when they did that, but like I felt they could have possibly done more. So yeah.
Yeah, like one of my biggest disappointments was when at the very start of the anime, it's just like, oh, your godly powers stripped.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think the one I hated the most was Hades because I feel like it was such a stereotypical portrayal of like a god of the dead. It was just like, oh, gloomy, dark-haired loner off in the corner. He thinks he's a curse to others. Like, no, don't do this.
At least they didn't go the Hades is evil route.
That's true. No, they went the Baldur is evil route.
And that ends up being the overarching plot of the show.
I promise y'all, we all hate Baldur. So Baldur's really interesting because I feel like the game basically tries to play it off that he's been like so coddled and protected by his mother that he doesn't have an understanding of like proper behavior and like the way to behave around others. So he gets obviously he cares for her in his own way, and because of that he becomes like irrationally an asshole. Like he gets mad when she spends time with other people, and he gets like super rude about it and shit. And I'm just like, that is not... No. I don't like this.
It was an interesting direction for his character. It was also kind of a weird one because she then spends most of the anime around other people, so it just kind of comes out of nowhere. And I know why it does, but also it's a little bit like of an arc. And the entire climax hinges around his like becoming a god of destruction. And will Loki kill him or Loki not kill him? Also gay. I gotta admit, it was kind of fun to see that Loki and Balder were just unironically gay for each other too.
Oh yeah, no.
Like Balder had it for the protagonist girl, but also Loki and Balder were actually gay.
Yeah. Which is really funny because Loki is the one who kills Balder in mythology, which sort of kickstarts the apocalypse. Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got to see the end of the gods.
Yeah.
It just kind of ends with all the gods. Yeah, this world's gone. Get out of here. Go.
Basically, just I called you all here to suffer through this for however long. Now leave. Get the fuck out. I don't want to deal with you anymore.
Didn't it end with basically the entire god realm just disappearing?
I think so. Yeah.
An implication that the gods either got out or died.
But then there's a second game, so like.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the second game is just an alternate version of the first game. Also, this does not follow the events of the game.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
Like, this entire arc is original to the anime.
It's interesting. I don't love the story, but, I didn't come here for the story.
No, we know.
Yeah, we know. At least we tried to come for the story.
I feel like that was your first mistake upon learning what this was.
I am not bi enough for this.
Yeah, so essentially at the end, Zeus gets rid of all the spirit. Well, by the way, the fucking spirit students. So there's just like a bunch of like literally faceless background students.
So like the unsaid meta of all this is that Zeus is just a weeb that watched way too much high school rom-com anime.
Yep.
Like that is just that's all that's happening here when you really think about it.
Yep. It's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
I do like the Cassandra things in the anime. Big fan.
Yeah.
And then so what basically happens is they this universe kind of collapses, but they send her back to hers. Yeah.
It would be a more interesting finale if the gods didn't like survive and come to the modern day like 2 seconds later.
Yeah. A bit of a cop out.
Yeah.
Okay, so my problems with it. I really wanted them to see more of them play off Susanoo being the god of war as well. Isn't that correct?
Susanoo.
Yeah. 2, Zeus doesn't exactly feel like Zeus. He's still kind of jackassy, but he doesn't actually go the chasey after every woman kind of thing.
Well, I think that's because there's not really a whole lot of opportunity for that here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. I feel like that's not for lack of trying. It's just lack of availability. You know what he has available to him? Spirits.
I could go for the MC. Just saying.
Yeah. Also, Susanoo is not the god of war in Japanese mythology.
Wasn't he?
No.
Oh.
No, Susanoo is the god of the sea and storms.
I don't remember. I remember somewhere seeing like he is like a god of war.
I mean,
Not
he might
the
be
god of war, but a god of war.
He might be associated with it because I think he covers like pestilence too. But he is not like the god of war, like not one of the major ones. But he is the god of sea and storms, which makes him chaotic and unpredictable. And
I do kind of see what Vorn is saying. A lot of the gods, I feel like they picked one aspect of them, and that was their character.
Yeah, they didn't really go for the whole multifaceted good characters.
No.
They went for, we'll pick one character trait and harp on it.
Yeah, no, these characters' personality are about as complex as their hair color. Primary.
Also, Hades. I felt like does he really deserve to be in that school? I feel he's the one who most understands humans.
Hades is weird because like Hades is literally Zeus's brother.
That was like, I was like, why is Hades?
Also,
here?
Hades is the older brother in mythology. So like Hades felt I just feel like he was an odd choice, and then they really just took him and said, the emo loner who thinks that everything is bad because of him.
They should have picked, what was it, the other?
Dionysus.
Dionysus would have worked, or if they wanted the death thing, they could have gone for the Greek god of, not the underworld, but of death, right?
Thanatos.
Yeah.
Thanatos isn't well enough known, though. They went with really big name gods.
I guess.
But I'd say that they could have picked, like, safely something else.
Or they should have had Poseidon be a character as well and play off the fact that
Persephone should have been a character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We could have had another Hades and Persephone story.
Is the Hades capture route just cucking Persephone?
My fucking god.
God damn
it would be, yeah.
No.
Because, like, theoretically, if they're summoned, like, I mean, he's married to Persephone, yes. So, yeah. Very much so. Technically, Dionysus as a root also makes it cucking, because Dionysus has a wife. Wasn't it, like, Ariadne or something becomes Dionysus' wife?
Something like
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ariadne. Can you open the door for him? In mythology. So, like this is not... We can't go off that. But no, I think Hades was the one that felt weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were definitely better gods to choose.
I think personally, if they wanted to, obviously they were kind of sticking with like two gods from each mythology, basically, as like roots and stuff like that. I think that the optimal choice would have been to either. It's fine. The optimal choice would have been to either bulk out the Egyptians by adding one more capture target, since Anubis isn't really one in this version. Or switch out Hades for maybe Hermes or Hephaestus. You know? Just
maybe Hephaestus probably.
Yeah, or even Ares. Just any other god besides Hades.
Yeah, if you put Ares in, it kind of feels more war-y than fighting.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's not that deep. They're not good.
Yeah.
This is not good. I get only ironic enjoyment from this.
Oh, yeah, Melissa. I totally thought that was Zeus just in disguise right there.
No.
That was like a literal nothing character, but I can also see the video gaminess part of that.
Yeah, because Melissa's the one you'd see doing like tutorials and how-to and like giving you options and shit. Yeah. And as such would be a fairly integral character in the game. You couldn't just ditch it for the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think there really isn't much to this. It's just kind of bad, isn't it?
Yeah, but I suppose that means we could get into waifu wars.
No. Husbando war.
Husbando wars. Husbando wars. Husbando wars.
I ain't got one today. I'm sorry.
Not a single one of them?
No.
Even the non-capture targets?
I don't even remember which character design goes to which name, except for Zeus. And
Dionysus
he was barely
has
present.
the wild red hair?
I don't remember a single plot line involving Dionysus.
Fine. Born.
I was going to say Thoth, but goddamn, those are way too many Kamigami. That is just too turn-offish. So, the island that was floating in episode 1 right there that we see.
Sword. My husbando is just the sword.
Kusanagi. Mine's Dionysus and Thoth. One's a capture target, one's not. So I've got two husbandos. One that's achievable in game and one that is not in the first game.
You're still going to try, though.
I absolutely... They're hot! Look. You can't fault me.
Yeah. So I think we're done right now. So thank you for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment right there about how Seki's a thirst monster, as always.
Try harder, everyone.